If you're hunting for a USB-C cable that promises blazing fast 240W charging, you've probably come across the UGREEN USB C to USB-C 240W cable. It sounds like a dream. Charge your iPhone 15 from 0 to 85% in just 35 minutes. Power up your MacBook Pro or iPad Pro quicker than ever. But here's what surprised me. Despite all that hype, this cable isn't as flawless as you might expect. In fact, there are some hidden issues that could make you think twice before clicking buy. So if you want the real story before handing over your hard-earned cash, keep watching because this review will save you time, money, and a few headaches. And trust me, not all charging cables are created equal, even if their specs say otherwise. Let's kick things off with what makes this cable stand out. It's designed for hyperfast charging using the latest PD 3.1 protocol. On paper, it supports up to 240 watts, which is game-changing speed for charging everything from ultra-portable laptops to your phone and gaming gadgets like the Steam Deck or Nintendo Switch. That versatility sounds like the jackpot for anyone juggling multiple USB-C devices. But is it really the Swiss Army knife of charging cables, or more like a Swiss Army spoon, kinda useful but not quite what you need? I'll break it down. First, who is this cable actually for? If you're the kind of person who hates waiting by the wall socket, needing your devices juiced up pronto, this seems tailor-made for you. Professionals powering through tight schedules, gamers wanting uninterrupted playtime, students needing quick turnaround between classes, or anyone constantly on the move, it promises to be your new best friend. But here's the twist. While the cable boasts insane charging speeds, your experience hinges not only on the cable, but also on your charger and device compatibility. Otherwise, you might as well be feeding your devices with a garden hose when what you really need is a fire hydrant. Now, diving deeper, UGREEN's cable is built tough, featuring a nylon-braided design that supposedly handles over 10,000 bends. So durability isn't something to worry about, because if there's one thing worse than a slow cable, it's one that frays after 2 weeks. Also, the tangle-free design means no more wrestling with knots during crucial moments, like when you're rushing to catch a flight. The exclusive eMarker Smart chip inside matches the electric current with your device's needs, ensuring safe and smooth charging by preventing overheating or overcurrent damage. That's tech you want in a cable, kind of like having a tiny bodyguard on electric duty. Plus, the 56K Omega resistor adds an extra safety layer against electrical mishaps. Sounds pretty bulletproof, right? But here's where things get tricky, and why I titled this The Honest Review with Problems. Despite this heavy tech rollout, some users have reported inconsistent charging speeds. For example, while the cable claims it can charge the MacBook Pro to 88% in under 35 minutes, real-world tests sometimes don't hit that sweet spot, especially if you're not pairing it with the flagship charger that fully supports 240W output. It's like buying a Ferrari but driving on dirt roads. Also, compatibility with some older devices or chargers might not reach those peak speeds and may drop down to 60W or even lower. A huge bummer if you're expecting lightning-fast juice. Another practical snag, the cable length. At around 3 feet, it might feel a bit cramped depending on your setup. Want to lounge on the couch while charging your phone or laptop? You might find yourself awkwardly tethered close to the wall or power bank. Although this keeps signal loss minimal and maintains charging efficiency, users who thrive on extended flexibility might want to consider longer cables, or risk an uncomfortably short charge session. But don't think I'm dumping on this cable entirely. One of the best features, especially for an under $10 cable, is the broad device compatibility. Whether it's your latest iPhone 15 or multiple laptops, tablets, Steam Deck, or Switch, it hooks up with ease. So if you want a one-cable-fits-all solution that's durable and feels premium for a budget-friendly price, UGREEN delivers impressively. Think of it like the Swiss Army knife after all. Not perfect at every single task, but reliably good at most. Speaking of the price, this cable is currently listed at just $9.99 on Amazon, with a 4.8-star rating based on thousands of reviews. That's almost like buying a gourmet meal but finding it delivers faster than expected, and for a fraction of the cost. It really makes you stop and think. Maybe you're paying more for elaborate packaging and brand names elsewhere than you are for actual charging speed. Still, save some caution in your pocket. Sometimes cheap cables can risk damaging your gadgets, but UGREEN's smart chip and resistors give a safe edge you'll appreciate. Here's an interesting tidbit. Did you know the cable supports PD 3.1 version? That's important because PD 3.1 is a recent update to USB power delivery, allowing for higher wattage and better negotiation between charger and device. So in theory, this cable should future-proof your charging needs for at least a few years. Just think of it as upgrading from dial-up to fiber optic internet. Once you try PD 3.1, it's hard to settle for less. Alright, time for a joke to lighten things up. Why did the USB-C cable file a police report? Because it got charged with battery theft. Okay, that was a bit shocking, but I promise this cable won't steal your power. It aims to give you more. Also, if your charging setup is as messy as my sock drawer, the tangle-free build will have you singing praises instead of cussing. Before we get to the final verdict, here's a mini twist. Is it better to invest in high-wattage cables like this one or snag multiple inexpensive cables at lower wattage? The answer depends on what you value, speed and safety, or simple backups. If you rely on fast charging several devices daily, that smart chip and the PD 3.1 standard really pay off long-term. But if you just need a casual cable for the occasional top-up, you might be fine with cheaper alternatives. So buyer beware, understand your needs before hitting add to cart. And here's a quick question to ponder. Have you ever wasted money on tech accessories that promised the moon but barely moved the needle? If yes, you'll appreciate that honest upfront review like this that doesn't play up the marketing fluff. For those worried about warranty or customer support, UGREEN is generally praised for responsive service and reliable replacements. That's a subtle safety net you don't always get from generic cables, so you can buy with peace of mind, knowing you're not left hanging if something goes wrong. Now for the jokes again. Why don't you ever see USB-C cables in therapy? Because they've mastered bending without breaking. And if you're thinking this cable might get tangled in your drawer, don't worry, it's designed to avoid that, unlike my spaghetti dinner last night. Okay, last joke. What did one USB-C cable say to the other? You complete me, especially when connected to a 240W charger. To wrap things up, the UGREEN USB-C to USB-C 240W cable is an excellent budget option for anyone requiring fast, versatile charging with solid build quality. It cleverly balances price and performance, packing advanced tech like PD 3.1 support and smart chip safety into an affordable package. But temper your expectations about achieving max speed all the time, as real-world factors like your charger and device compatibility play a huge role. If you're seeking durability, safety, and decent fast charging without breaking the bank, this cable is a reliable ally. So should you buy it? If you want an affordable, future-proof, and rugged cable that covers a broad range of devices and charging scenarios, absolutely yes. Just make sure your charger can handle the high wattage to unleash its full potential. If you want to snag the best price on Amazon, I've dropped a link in the description below. Prices change super fast, so don't wait until the last second or you might miss a deal. Thanks for hanging out with me for this honest review. I hope it saved you some hassle and gave you a clearer picture before making your purchase. Now go charge your devices at lightning speed and stay powered up.